We are live.
Yep.
Hey, you remember why we weren't streaming last week for Gamers Unrest?
XSplit.
X
XSplit was being a
XSplit.
bitch.
All right, we gotta talk about this because this is apparently a problem XSplit's also aware of. So, not too long ago, Microsoft decided to release their anniversary update. The problem is, this update, for some stupid reason, has an incompatibility with certain aspects of XSplit, and because of that, I had to uninstall it. So, that being said, I would like to bring that up. If you use XSplit and you're going to be using it anytime soon, make sure check, and you're using Windows 10 as well, make sure to check your updates file, and make sure to get rid of the update file that is labeled KB4013429. If you have that update installed, you're going to be having problems with XSplit. I uninstalled that, and now XSplit works perfectly fine. Really dumb, and I thought it was a mess of different things, and that brings me to something else. You might notice the layout for Gamers Unrest looks different. That's because I had to remake it because I had to get rid of all my presentations because of one of my theories of what the problem was. And that wasn't the problem. So that was a joy and a half. So let's... And then... God, was there anything else that XSplit was doing that was being a butt that was noteworthy? I guess it's not really XSplit so much as is Microsoft. Man, fuck Microsoft. Am I right?
Microsoft.
That's
Stop
what
it.
that's what it all comes back to. What have you been playing these past 3 weeks now?
Well, nothing new. I can tell you that. Castle Crashers, Elsword, and Warframe. Oh,
Which
Warframe really got its update 20, which is Octavia's Anthem.
nice.
So you can get the new Bard frame Octavia.
Speaking of Castle Crashers, for those who are not aware, our good friend Undead Unicorn King, yeah, this is still a very stupid username. He's doing a series on Castle Crashers, and we're in it. Let's see how long it takes.
Somehow.
Let's see how long it takes for this to get canceled.
I think he's going to try and keep it going.
I hope he does, because we got to get through something.
Hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, a lot has happened in these past 3 weeks for me. For one, I got a new keyboard. It's a very rainbow keyboard. And it's very cool, but even cooler than that, I have a laptop. So because of that, I can now play video games, or Steam games, on the go. Which I actually did yesterday because I went to a friend's place, which is why there wasn't a stream yesterday. And even if there was, I would have probably gotten hung up on XSplit problems anyway, because I only just fixed them, like, at 2 in the morning yesterday. Or earlier today, technically. But we played some Quiplash, which I gotta talk about some of the answers we came up with. We played Quiplash. We played Duck Game. We played Ultimate Chicken Horse. God, what other good games did we play? We played some Lethal League. A lot of it was Duck Game, though, because Duck Game is fun. But there are 2 answers we wrote in Quiplash that I would like to bring up. One of which was, the prompt was, a company you would not go to for fair business. Somebody wrote Konami. Which was hilarious.
Oh my god.
And the other one that was worth noting was, the prompt was something that you something that you shouldn't say when you go into a tough biker gang bar. So I wrote, "Is this the Krusty Krab?" Those are the 2
Oh
highlights.
my god.
Those were the 2 highlights of that game.
Oh my god.
Another thing that happened over these past 3 weeks is I went to PAX. since I have not talked about this on the podcast yet. Um, Boston. It was cold. It was very cold. It got to the negatives. I hate the cold. But aside from the cold, it was really fun. I participated in some challenges like I do every time I go to PAX. The challenges, there were 6 challenges at this convention. On the first day, there was Super Mario Brothers, the original one for NES. The challenge was you had to beat stage 1-1, high score challenge. The catch, you had to use the Power Glove. And for those who are familiar with the Power Glove, well, let's just say it's so bad.
How bad?
Very bad. Basically, if you're not familiar with the Power Glove for some crazy reason, it's an NES Wii remote, essentially. Or that's what it tried to be. It's like, it's basically very primitive motion controls. And they barely work.
Barely?
Yeah.
What do they, like,
Okay.
shut down every once in a while?
So, here's an example. So, there's a LED setup. So, like, you have to set up a sensor bar. On the sensor bar, there are 6 LEDs, which tell you if it's sensing that you're inputting up, down, left, right, B, or A on essentially the D-pad, but instead you're using the Power Glove. So, it'll tell you which one you're inputting. So, what we did, or like what happened, was I think at one point one of us put the Power Glove down on the table, and that sensor was telling you what buttons it was inputting. It was like a goddamn disco ball.
Oh my god.
So that was not very lovely. But
This chair is going to be the death of me.
But I did end up winning the challenge because I did get the high score on that. Later on that night, there was another challenge for a Genesis game that was pretty bad called Sword of Sidon. And this is basically a very old beat-em-up game, essentially. And it's bad. And to make matters worse, because of the challenge restrictions, you can't use items. So, I had the high score for like the longest time, and then I went off to a Bomberman tournament with one of my con buddies, John. He ended up winning the tournament, but I did take second, so I got a medal for that. Which is funny because John won the Saturn Bomberman tournament back at PAX West, and I also took second then. But
nice.
Then we decided we'd head back to the challenges, because John's also pretty challenge-heavy. And he decided to try some more Sword of Sidon. At the very last second, he beat my score by 75 points. Which netted him the medal, ultimately. Yes?
Can I just say, sorry about the static background noise over here if you guys are hearing it. My computer's doing a thing where the exhaust isn't exactly as quiet as I'd like it to be.
It's doing
and I don't know how to fix it, so yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
It's fine. We honestly should have addressed that a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Anyway, while he has to go grab something, I'll talk about more con stories. So, God, that was loud. The second day was, what were the challenges for the second day? Well, there was the Throne Controllers panel, which I went to, which was fun, but that's beside the point. One was Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Master System. It was a speedrun challenge, so you had to beat the first stage as fast as possible, tiebreakers determined by rings. And I was the only one who was able to beat it in the fastest possible time of 18 seconds. And since you just got back, I'll catch you up to speed on what I'm talking about. Day 2 challenges, I'm talking about Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Master System, and that I was the only one to get the fastest possible time on Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Master System, Stage 1. The other challenge was a TurboGrafx 16 game, which is interesting. I think that's like one of the only times I've used a TurboGrafx 16. It was a game called Blazing Lasers, which is basically, it's a shmup. And it was a high score challenge for stage 1. But we found out that if you want to maximize your score, what you have to do is you have to get up to the last checkpoint, go up to the boss, kill yourself at the boss, to go back and start grinding like that. So it was basically who could basically shoot the most things in those roughly 9 lives. So remember how I was talking about how John barely beat my score on Sword of Sidon? Well, I got him back today, where I barely beat his score right up at the last second.
Damn.
And the third day's challenges were Sega Bass Fishing for the Sega Dreamcast. I got a pretty big fish right off the bat, and nobody could beat me after that, so that was pretty straightforward. And the other challenge was going to be, I think it was going to be Kirby's Dream Land. But then we found out how exploitable it was, so the enforcer who runs the challenges decided to switch the challenge to Sunset Riders. This, I think, was the highlight of the challenges in terms of actual quality for games, because Sunset Riders was a really fun game. It's like a cowboy shoot enemies kind of thing. And I ended up winning that, but at the time I never played Sunset Riders, but I played it, I enjoyed it, and now I'm gonna be keeping my eye out for a copy of Sunset Riders. And that was most of the challenges of PAX. And I guess as a side thing, on our way back, when we were on the plane to go back, our flight actually got delayed by about 30 minutes because some idiot on the last plane decided to pull the pin on the fire extinguisher. So we had to get the maintenance guy out here. Thanks, buddy.
Frickin' trolls, man.
I know, right? So that's a lot of my PAX adventures. What other good adventures have I had? Ooh, here's a good one. Just the other day, I got my first job. So, starting probably next week, I will be working. I'm going to be in charge of laundry and cleaning the locker rooms at the fitness club that's local to me. So I'll finally be able to start earning some money and kind of just having a lot more freedom with my money, which is cool.
Someone was willing to hire you? Holy shit.
I know, it's such a huge surprise.
I know, right? We need to celebrate this with games we don't have. Oh my god. No. We should celebrate with 100% orange juice marathon.
Oh, dude, I'm down. I'm so down for that. I'm down for some saltiness. Dude, okay. Okay. So I gotta tell you this story. I was playing 100% orange juice yesterday with some friends of mine, and I had +5 on my attack stat. I rolled a 1. And because of the boss's roll, I did 3 damage. So if I actually rolled a decent roll, I could have killed the boss. But the boss is like, haha, no, fuck you.
Alright, Jesus goes, no, no, no.
Yeah, I in very recent memory, I have been getting royally screwed over in 100% orange juice. But I guess I should stop talking about that and start talking about games that I've actually played. I played... Actually, on my friend Tunable's stream, we went through all of Portal 2. All of the co-op for Portal 2, anyway. Which was fun, because it's been a long time... Like, it's been years since I actually just sat down and played Portal 2, so it was cool getting to play it. But I think the highlight from all that is the first day we played Portal 2. We went to go raid my con buddy John, and because he was playing Sunset Riders, which was one of the challenges at PAX, as I discussed earlier. And my buddy Tunable was the one who was raiding. Though, because I was in there, John by default thought that I was the one raiding. So he got the Raider wrong, which was kind of incredible and kind of stupid at the same time. But I'm laughing about it. He and
Oh
I
my
guess
god.
it's kind of I guess it makes some sense because according to him, I was the reason that he's playing Sunset. He played Sunset Riders on stream, so I guess it works out. Question mark.
Yeah.
On my own time, though, I played. Oh, my copy of Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reloaded for PlayStation 4 came in the mail, so I've been playing that. I've gotten the Platinum Trophy already. All I have left to do between Danganronpa 1 and 2 is the island mode in Danganronpa 2 and getting a perfect score on every case in Danganronpa 2. The island mode part's going to be more
Damn.
tedious than anything else. The actual trials are going to be a problem for me because I discovered that in one of the minigames, for some reason, the clock counts down faster compared with the Steam or Vita versions, and because of that, it makes it harder to get a perfect score on the minigame, which is weird. I don't know if it's like something to do with like the skills I've equipped, or if it's just a bug in the game. If it's the latter, hopefully Spectrunesoft fixes it, but hey. I also played Zero Escape the Nonary games, because that got released on Steam last Friday. I kind of just started Virtue's Last Reward. I mainly was playing 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors once again, because in this re-release, it's gotten voice acting, which the original one didn't have. Well, aside from the voice acting, and maybe like some bits of changed dialogue, the game's basically the same. Upgrade graphics, all that stuff. Pretty self-explanatory. I
Yeah.
also decided to subscribe to Humble Monthly because the featured game of this month was something that's been interesting me for a while, a game called The Witness. So, the idea of The Witness is you basically go around this island and there's panels that you find, and those panels have a puzzle on them. Like, the general concept of most of the puzzles are basically the same, where it's you move a line from one point to the other to solve the puzzle, basically guiding it through a maze. But later on, you got some crazy rules. For example, you have to guide two lines at the same time, and they mirror each other. Or I think the puzzle I'm currently on is there's an invisible line that you have to get past, and you have to figure out the pathing of the invisible line, like which way it would go. And I've heard about this, and I've seen this in a few puzzles that I've been going through. The puzzles really like to fuck with your eyes. Like, I saw some puzzles that would strain your eyes somewhat, and I've heard it gets really bad later on, so I am both excited and terrified to find out what that's gonna be like. Puzzle games aside, though, I also went back to Guitar Hero 2, because over these past 3 weeks, I finally unlocked every song in Guitar Hero 2, and as some I have seen on Twitter, I beat the song Jordan on Expert with 5 stars. Not easy to do.
I saw that. That was awesome.
Not an easy thing to do. You know what? After we're done with this stream, if we stay in the call, I'll load up Jordan and try to play it for you. Because
Okay.
it is absolute insanity, but that was a fun time. Guitar Hero is always
Through the
fun.
fire and flames and thing.
Oh yeah, I still need to play that for you, I'm pretty sure, because we never did last time.
Yeah.
We'll do that after the podcast is over, though. Uh,
Alright.
are there any other games that I played? I think that's most of it. I'm now looking at my shelf, trying to figure out which games. Oh right, duh. There was the monthly tournament I had. So this time it was Fusion Frenzy for the original Xbox.
I love Fusion Frenzy.
Fusion Frenzy.
I love Fusion Frenzy. Go ahead.
Fusion Frenzy. I was just gonna say Fusion Frenzy's pretty good. Go on.
Yeah, it's I used to play it a lot when I was literally in my my brother and I would always tie.
Yeah,
Every match we played, we would always tie.
nice.
Sorry.
I only got a little bit of practice in, yet despite that, I took second place in the tournament, which was pretty surprising. And I didn't find out, because I saw a bunch of people playing Fusion Frenzy while I was at PAX. I didn't find out until then that Fusion Frenzy was a platinum hit. So it was kind of interesting discovering that. And I believe that is everything. Yeah, looks like it. It's all the noteworthy stuff of what I've played these past few weeks. Oh yeah, more Breath of the Wild. That's in there somewhere. I've almost beaten all the shrines. I would have by now, except I have had other games to be playing. But next time you come to my place, I've now got the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth on the Switch, so we can play that.
That'll be fun.
That's gonna be a fun one. Shall we go on to news?
Sure.
Alright, you wanted me to get my news out of the way because you've got a large amount of news to cover yourself. So, let's start with Switch news. I found out at PAX that Duck game is going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. For some reason, the Nintendo Switch, you can't transfer game saves. That's very stupid. There's no sort of cloud storage, nothing like that. I hope that comes later, though. That's like something that should be on a console that's out in 2017. Because it's like, you have to send your console for repairs, and you have they like send you a new one because yours broke. Well, I hope you didn't need those saves, because they're gone now.
Dang.
Yeah, not a big fan of that.
Hopefully they fix it soon.
Some people have started noticing as well that games on the Switch have been consistently costing $10 more than any other platform. An example of this includes Rhyme and Puyo Puyo Tetris. Both of these seem to be guilty of that, and the reason behind that is unknown, whether it's because the developers of the games are trying to milk a little more money out of it, or whether it's because of Nintendo. But I guess that's a mystery to be solved sometime later. Bloodstained for Wii U is no longer a thing because the Switch is out, so Bloodstained is going to be on the Switch instead. Alright, the Games of Gold games for April 2017 have also been announced. On Xbox One, throughout the whole month, you can get Rise, Son of Rome. On Xbox One, from April 16th to May 15th, you can get The Walking Dead Season 2. On Xbox 360 and Xbox One, for the first half of April, you can get Darksiders 1. And the second half of April, for both Xbox 360 and Xbox One, you can get Assassin's Creed Revelations. And I've only got one piece of other news, and that is Bye Bye Box Boy came out March 23rd. Which I need to get because I played the first Box Boy and really enjoyed it, and I still need to get the second one. And Humble Bundle. I was talking about Humble Monthly, so why don't we talk about this? Humble Monthly,
right.
I don't know if you knew, but Humble Monthly's featured game of the month is The Witness. I was just talking about this. You should know this. And
yeah.
As for Humble Bundle itself, the pay what you want part, if you pay $1 or more, you get a Monster Cat Twitch license. I'm not exactly sure what that is, because I don't use whatever
I think it means you can use, like, Monster Cat's music in, like, your Twitch streams. I'm not sure, though.
That sounds right. That sounds like what would make sense. It's a 1-year license, so. You can also get Face Rig Classic, which is priced at $14 normally. Speaking of which, I guess I should point this out. The Monster Cat Twitch license, normally priced at $65, but here you can get it for $1. Which is cool.
Dang.
Now, actual games, normally $10, but you can get, by paying $1 more, you can get the original Quiplash on Steam. And here's a game that I've been interested in because of its way of integrating Twitch. Choice Chamber. Also $10 on Steam normally. You can get if you pay $1 or more. If you pay more than the average, which currently, as I can see now, is $5.42, you can unlock a 3-month license for XSplit. Normally priced at $25.
Nice.
Normally priced at $25, but you can get it for $5 here. Face Rig Pro, which is normally priced at $65. Drawful 2, which is normally priced at $10. And oh, what am I doing? Okay, misclicked something. You can also get Beanbox, 12 months, or not 12 months license, 6-month license, normally priced at $30. Pay $12 or more, you can get Magic's Fast Cut, normally priced at $40. And you can get Hotspot Shield Elite VPN, a 1-year license for what is normally $47.88.
That's not bad.
So yeah, it's not too bad. And let me... And just to give an idea about Humble Monthly, since I was talking about that, I said that The Witness was the feature one, and since I only just found out about this, I might as well just point out some games that were listed in previous Humble Bundles. So, what do I see here? I see Ark Survival Evolved, Mad Max, Rocket League, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, Crawl, I Am Bread, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. What else? SteamWorld Heist, One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, Poly Bridge, Total War Warhammer, and many, many more. So I think I might be subscribing to Humble Monthly for a while. I still have yet to find out, though, what the bonus games, like, outside the Witness are going to be. Those are going to be showing up in, I'm guessing, about 11 days, when the subscription, like, the time you can... Basically, your chance to renew the Witness for the Humble Monthly subscription, that runs out in 11 days. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's everything I want to talk about. You have a laundry list of stuff to talk about for Nier Automata. So, have fun.
Yeah.
The stage is yours.
Alright, man. Let's get started. Anyways, Nier Automata. Now, a lot of you probably already know what the game is and what it's about, sure. But for those of you who haven't been reading up on the game and all of the included features, allow me to explain. So, Nier Automata is set in a world where Earth in itself is, well, invaded and over time ruled over by, well, we do call them machines, and they do act somewhat like it, but as you go further and further in, they describe machines as, well, aliens. And before I go any further, let me just clarify that this is just my interpretation from what I've seen so far of watching videos on the game.
I also might or might not have the Steam page brought up, so I'm not completely in the dark.
Yeah. So for right now, we'll just call them machines. Anyways, so the game is set in a world where Earth is ruled over by machines, and the last remnants of humanity that pulled a Sid the Sloth decided to try and live on or around the moon in these space stations. After being terrorized by these machines, they decided to create androids, and by definition, an android is classified as an automaton in the form of a human being. Anyways, they created the androids to fight back against these machine-like aliens. Great! Now, the game begins introducing a character known as 2B, an android built for general combat, who is sent in with a squad of other androids to track down and eliminate what is officially titled in the game as a Goliath. Now, when we hear the word Goliath, we think it's gotta be something big, right? Wrong. This monster is huge. And personally speaking, I love the aesthetic of fighting giant monsters. A gigantic soldier brandishing a stone sword? I'm all for it. taking an ordinary oil rig, attaching two saws to it, and putting a structure on it that somehow counts as its face and making it fire purple and friggin' blue balls at you, in the words of Christopher Eccleston, fantastic. But there's something about this monster of a machine. For one, it can frickin' speak. During the fight, if you listen close, you can hear the Goliath repeat the words, kill, kill, kill. And I get it, these things don't like you, but it's actually curious, because later on in this game, we find this village of machines. When you get there, they're acting kind of like humans would, afraid of outsiders, but willing to protect their home, and if that means attacking said outsiders, or androids, or humans, like, that begs the question of why. Why would these machines try to protect their own little settlements just like early stages of people? It's certainly something to ponder, but I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves, or maybe let the game theorists handle it. But yeah, all in all, from what I've seen, the game in itself is like a mix between like a beat 'em up and like a bullet hell, and there are a bunch of other categories to add to it, but and that kind of seems like what it is from my standpoint.
According to Steam, it's also got some RPG aspects.
It does.
All right.
So as for the game's exploration, we do also know that it is, in a sense, open world. So I honestly think that the way they had these, like, city ruins and, everything is collapsing, and I just think that's a really cool aesthetic, because it just shows, like, how aged the world is becoming, how abandoned these cities are of, nearly human life. But not only that, it feels dystopian. As for 2B, I actually want to ask something. There's something about her character that's, well, somewhat unique. By definition, as we know, androids are basically automatons in the form of a human.
I've got an android.
Bruh. But, like, there's something about 2B that intrigues me, is that, well, can you really program emotion into an android? Like, going off of the definition that we know, I'm just going to call up an example. 9S gets hit by the Goliath, and he gets thrown on top. His leg is gone, his arm is gone, he's, like, oiling all over the place. But when 2B gets to him, she's worried, and not only that, it's like a sense of fear, like a hint of emotion. So what is that? Like, you're putting emotion into an android, and it's not exactly a bad thing, but it's just confusing because it's a machine, and that's kind of a question I've been asking, is like, why would you do that? Another thing that intrigues me is the black box. It's like a mini bomb, mini nuclear bomb that they have in case they need to self-destruct when they know they can't complete their mission. What is it, like a black hole in a box or something? Anyways, 2B and 9S get surrounded by Goliaths, and taking one out is hard enough. So they initiate an explosion via black box reaction. Apparently fusion happens. Or not fusion, fission. Anyways, they essentially come back and they're reconstructed inside the space station. So another question that is are there like multiple versions of 2B just sitting there like clones? Because if so, the data they can save over from their original body gets transferred over there, or at least from what we understand. You guys, some of you have probably already played all the way through the game, and you probably know a lot more than I do.
Get it, the
One
game.
of my last...
Get the game. Learn the game from that. And that is typically the best way to...
Learn the game.
That is typically the best way to learn a game is to play the game.
Yeah. And one thing I'm eager to know is what is with the when you get into that like little village area of robots, there's this. It's like this sphere of robots that emit like a light from the inside, and it spills out like another android or something or a machine, and you have to fight this dude. So what the hell exactly is he? And just why did they come over here? And I know these questions seem a bit poorly put, but I mean, I guess you guys can kind of get the point of what I'm trying to ask is like, what entirely is going on with this whole, like, my English today.
My English!
What's going on with this whole situation? You know, why are they here? Why are they trying to kill humans? Like, what's going on? And I guess I'll find out more as I view the game. But what do you think, Okami?
I think I need to play the game first to give an accurate judgment. Because Nier
Yeah.
Automata does look interesting. I just need to get the game because I have to pay the retail price of $60, which I guess will be chump change, or not quite chump change, but like will be more manageable later on since I will be able to be earning my own money. I mean, I've got other things to
Someone
worry about.
finally hired.
Hey, it comes full circle. But like, I've got other things on my plate first. Like, I've still got a few more Bloodstained Kickstarters to pay off. God, there's something else that I've already... Oh, right. I was trying to go get a better editing software than the one I'm currently using. So, just little things like that I've got to get done. But who knows? Nier Automata might also, potentially, I don't know yet, be part of a Humble Bundle. And if it is, I will probably pick it up.
I really hope it is. The game is looking amazing so far from my view.
Humble Bundle selections seem to, from what I've heard before I started subscribing to Humble Monthly, they seem to almost always be really solid choices for games. So, who knows? It probably will be at some point. It might be a few months down the road, though, before it's on there, but I'm sure it's going to be on a Humble Bundle someday. Probably Humble Monthly.
I'm still looking forward to not getting my ass kicked in Smash next time I'm over there.
You want to try me?
I will take you out with Sheik.
Speaking of which, one last bit of news to bring up. Cloudcorn and Bayonetta amiibo, they are actually confirmed to be in development. I'm shocked too.
Awesome. I'm tired.
So once I get those 3 amiibo, I will have a full set of Smash Bros. Amiibo. Theoretically. And I say theoretically because apparently there is a mysterious 4th amiibo for Smash Bros. That has an IP. But we know nothing about it. And I believe that's gonna do it for this week. Unless there's anything else you can think of. Alright, what's your game of the week?
My game of the week? Nier Automata.
Yeah, I had
it's a really interesting game once you get into it.
I had a feeling it was Nier Automata. My game of the week is The Witness. Alright, thanks for joining, guys. I should be
Hope you guys are having a great day.
I should be able to go back to random game nights starting next week because XSplit's no longer being a butt and I hopefully won't be traveling. But we'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of Gamers Unrest. See you guys.
Spoiler alert, he's cheating on XSplit with OBS.
Bullshit.